Hello and welcome to Wednesday's calendar.
Coming up on the programme tonight, blueprints for the future or another empty promise. The government unveils its latest multi-billion-pound rail plan for the north.
Enough is enough claims that new charges are leaving car parks and shops empty, with demands to scrap them now.
Demand has doubled for this wildlife rescue centre here in Houghton in Ribblesdale, but it comes at a time when the future of the centre itself is uncertain.
For services to association football.
And from the pitch to the palace, Chesterfield Lioness Millie Bright is honoured by Prince William. We start with the government's multi-billion-pound pledge to improve rail links across the north, a move it says will boost Yorkshire's economy and transform its towns and cities.
Its so-called Northern Powerhouse Rail Scheme was announced by the Chancellor today, but it was actually first proposed more than a decade ago. And even if everything goes to plan, commuters won't see any of its benefits until at least 2030.
Michael Billington is in Bradford, which could get a brand new station under the project. Now, Michael, the more cynical amongst us might suggest that we've heard this all before.
Yes, if you're sitting at home and have just let out an exasperated sigh, thinking this is nothing new, then you might be forgiven, because even the Chancellor today admitted that the government had to overcome the understandable cynicism among rail passengers, because this phrase, Northern Powerhouse Rail, has been thrown around by politicians for more than a decade, changed and tweaked by successive governments, but with no actual tangible rail improvements to speak of. The current government aims to change all of that. They say they want to learn the lessons of the failed northern leg of HS2 by designing a northern rail network that they believe they can deliver.
805 northern service to Leeds has been cancelled.
For Yorkshire's rail passengers, it's all depressingly familiar, especially in Bradford, which holds the unenviable accolade of having the worst rail connections of any major city in the UK. And don't commuters here know it?
It's just so unreliable. It's just so, you can't even get from A to B without something going wrong.
There's often many delays. It can sometimes end up taking me like an hour just to get back, so it's not very convenient.
I travel in London and you can get round to a penny they come, but here it's like every hour.
But all that, the government hopes, can change under their Northern Powerhouse Rail plan. The first phase would upgrade connections between Leeds and Bradford, Sheffield and York. Phase 2 involves a new route between Liverpool and Manchester, while Phase 3 would improve the link across the Pennines.
For me, this isn't just political, this is personal, because for a long time the north of England and my constituents have been let down and been fed false promises. And I'm determined that we are now finally going to deliver, and that this Labour government is going to deliver what previous governments have promised but failed to get over the line.
They say it all builds on the Trans-Pennine route upgrade, currently ongoing at Huddersfield Station today, which is designed to electrify the whole main line across to the northwest.
So instead of a brand new high-speed rail line connecting east to west like HS3, George Osborne's big idea back in 2014, today the government's announced a series of upgrades to existing routes and some smaller stretches of high-speed track. Some say that's a compromise, while others, after years of talk, say they'll believe it when they see it.
I can't trust that it'll actually happen. It's been said for a long time, probably longer than I've been alive. This has been said that it's going to happen, and I've never seen it.
Student Chloe does the daily journey from Halifax into Bradford or Leeds and says she recently had 4 trains cancelled in just one day.
I've been travelling for a year and they've never upgraded. I've been travelling places for over a year and half the time I've been late. I've been travelling for work. I can't rely on that I'll be there in time. I think I've lost a lot of connections from being late as well, which wasn't my fault, but it's just what happens.
The plan, which is capped at £45 billion, is said to include money for new train stations at Rotherham and Bradford. Just a stone's throw from the current Bradford interchange, and at the Cakehole Cafe, they think if it goes ahead, it could be a huge boost for business.
I think it'll have a massive impact on us. Obviously, a lot more people coming into Bradford City Centre. We are quite central itself, so obviously we'll have a massive footfall and hopefully a lot more people coming in. You look out now, it's a bit quiet at the moment. But yeah, no, definitely, it would see a lot more potential to it.
Northern Powerhouse Rail aims, according to some of those behind the plans, to unlock the untapped gold reserve of the North's economy. But following today's announcement, there'll be plenty wondering whether all that glitters really will be gold after all.
And back to Michael now. So, Michael, if all goes well and this does all go ahead, when can commuters expect to see the benefits?
Well, don't hold your breath, Ian, because we are talking decades rather than years. The majority of the improvement works around Yorkshire are expected to happen during the 2030s, although that new station in Rotherham could come early in the decade. It's the third phase of this project, east to west across the Pennines, that we're going to have to wait the longest for. Those works aren't expected to be finished until sometime around 2045.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. Michael Billington, thank you.
Now, away from the rails and onto the roads, or more precisely, our car parks. Locals in Wetherby are urging the council to reverse a decision to charge people to park there.
Car parks in the town are among 6 across Leeds, which were previously free until charges were brought in October to fund their upkeep.
Now, local businesses say that the changes have led to a dramatic fall in footfall. And today, councillors are discussing a motion to scrap the charges altogether. Ben Basin has the story.
After the sales boom of Christmas, the high street in Wetherby is weighing up its future. It's claimed new charges in the town's car parks are driving people away from local shops like this cheesemonger's. And for businesses, a drop in footfall slices into their profits.
It's a nice small market town, brings in people from all over, and it's just another obstacle for small businesses. Simple as that.
Since this came in October, have you noticed any difference? Has there been fewer people around?
Definitely less people visiting from outside. We still get our locals in because they can obviously walk down. If you come in early, it's not too bad, but particularly the weekend, it's made a big difference.
At one of the town's main car parks, Wilderness, although the first hour is free, people now face a charge of £1.15 for the second hour, up to a maximum of £3.65 for the whole day. It's one of 6 car parks across Leeds where charges were introduced in October to fund improvement and maintenance. Since then, some say this car park's name has become very apt.
If we'd been here 6 months ago, we wouldn't be able to stand in this parking space because the car park would have been full, and you can now see all of the empty spaces behind us. That's a typical mid-morning now. Where have those people gone? Some of them don't come here at all. Some of them are parking on residential streets, causing a bit of a nuisance.
We know the council's in a dire financial situation. They need all the money they can get, don't they, including from schemes like this?
Well, they say that, but they're putting council tax up by 5% again this year. And I think most people will feel, hold on a minute, we're paying more and more and more and getting less and less and less in return.
Leeds City Council says the charges are a crucial and sustainable source of income, given its current financial position. And the cost isn't putting everyone off.
Kind of get used to paying for parking at most places now, so I don't find it, really a problem. And if it goes into maintaining the car park, it's, that's okay. I'm fine with it.
Oh, how much is it, Steve?
£1.65 for 3 hours.
Yeah, so
which is
obviously, for Wetherby.
think.
And there's plenty of places to walk around in Wetherby.
It doesn't put me off at all. I still have to park somewhere.
Opponents of the charges are urging the council to reconsider by properly assessing the impacts they've had on the local economy. After just 3 months, for many the damage to this town is already clear to see, at a time when the high street should be bringing more visitors in, not driving them away. Ben Mason, ITV News, Wetherby.
Thanks, Ben. Well, councillors are voting on that proposal to scrap the new charges this evening, and of course we'll let you know the outcome when it comes through.
Yeah, we certainly will, and unsurprisingly it's an issue that's got you talking on our Facebook pages. Diane Raper says that the paid car parks are now empty. On-street parking in the streets around the town centre has increased, and we now have roads that are really difficult to navigate safely.
Polly Richmond points out it's not just an issue in West Yorkshire. She says you need to come to York and check the car parks out. They're so highly priced. We just paid £5.10 for an hour.
And Tina Ives says that the car parks are now empty and the streets around the town are lined with cars parked bumper to bumper right up to junction. She says it's making it impossible to drive safely down there as there's no passing place.
Sharon Thompson-Macon agrees, saying every road is a danger now. You can't see at junctions or get down the streets, and Morrison's is full of cars that have just parked up there. Thank you for your comments.
Yes, parking, it always gets you very interested. Now, still to come, trails and tribulations, why more and more of us are heading off-road when it comes to getting out for a run.
And after the mild start to the week, it was frosty again this morning. So is the very cold weather making a comeback? I'll let you know later in the programme.
A 35-year-old man has been charged with attempted murder after a stabbing incident on Lindley Road in York on Saturday evening. A woman in her 20s suffered serious injuries. She's now in a serious but stable condition following emergency treatment.
Police are continuing to search for a man in connection with a drive-by shooting on Christmas Day in Sheffield. Detectives say they want to speak to Samin Khan in relation to the attempted murder of a 20-year-old man who was shot in the chest. It happened on Wilfred Drive in Darnall. The victim remains in hospital. His condition is described as critical.
Leeds city centre has received an unenviable accolade, that of shoplifting capital of the UK. Latest figures show that in the 12 months to October last year, city centre shops experienced more shoplifting than anywhere else in England and Wales. West Yorkshire Police say the area is regularly patrolled and they're working with retailers and other agencies to crack down on the problem.
Now, an animal rescue centre in the Yorkshire Dales says that it's seen a huge surge in the number of animals and birds that it's caring for. It rescued nearly double the amount last year than it had the year before.
Well, sadly though, the future of the rescue centre hangs in the balance as the building it operates from could be sold. Well, Adam Fowler is there for us now. And Adam, they do incredible work there, don't they?
Here at Craven Wildlife Rescue, it's the quiet season. Nevertheless, it may be quiet, but they've got 70 animals here at the moment, roundabout, and more than 40 hedgehogs, including this little chap here. Thank you very much. This is Lyndon. He's just having a bath. Here we are. You get right in there, dear.
Right in. Press it in hard. Get in between the spine.
Did they like having baths?
They don't mind having a bath.
OK. Well, Jane, what's Lyndon's story here?
So Lyndon was spotted on a wildlife camera by one of our volunteers, one of our 40 volunteers, and she could also hear that he's got some difficult breathing. So he's a good size, but he has tested positive for a couple of internal parasites.
You've had so much demand lately.
Yeah.
What do you put that down to?
Lots of things. We're becoming a lot more well known. We're taking from a lot of different areas. The expanding area really, so we're taking from West Yorkshire, Cumbria, Lancashire and also our own area, so as we get more well known and there are so few rescues, yeah, we're just expanding and expanding all the time, taking more in.
And yet the future of the centre is in doubt in a way because this building could be sold?
Absolutely, yeah. So we came here about a year and a half, a year and 3/4 ago, and we've just expanded in what we've been able to take, and the fact that we've been able to get volunteers to come and help us do the work. But it's potentially coming up for sale, and that's where we have a problem, and we just need a future for Craven Wildlife. The more we take it on, the more we realise that there is a real need for all the animals that come into here, and there being a rescue centre.
And this news that the building could be sold has come just at the time when you've doubled in demand.
Absolutely,
in
yeah.
the last year.
Absolutely.
What would happen if this building got sold? What would your options be?
If we could potentially afford to buy it or try and relocate somewhere else, it's really difficult because we're 24/7 here. We're looking after animals all the time.
Jane, thank you very much for your time. The Anglican Diocese of Leeds say no decision has been taken yet on the building, and it looks like Lyndon's just about finished his bath. Let's hope they can continue to do such great work for little fellas like Lyndon.
Oh, thanks very much indeed, Adam. I never knew hedgehogs liked a bath.
Neither did I. Oh. No, whatever next. Now, pick up your trainers. Put on your lycra because we're going out running for our next story.
Yes, but we're not pounding the streets or the treadmill. Instead, we're going off the beaten track as runners find a new way to find their flow.
It's all because trail running on forest paths is skyrocketing. So our reporter Kevin Ashford headed into the woods to see what the buzz is all about.
Taking to the trails. These runners have gone off-road to clock up their miles and got closer to nature.
I just enjoyed being away from traffic, away from the roads, and just getting that sense of freedom, sense of adventure on the trails.
Started running my dog, started running with friends, and before you know it, it's a big part of your life.
The great thing with trail running is it doesn't matter how fast you go. So if you need to hike a bit and then run a bit, that's still getting out and enjoying the woods and the beautiful countryside.
Precise numbers of trail runners are hard to come by, but there are signs of a growth in popularity. For instance, one trail race organiser says it's seen a threefold increase in entrants to some events since 2022.
Always looking ahead where you're going, always looking ahead, not looking at your feet.
Matt Buck, who's a trail running coach, is seeing more people take up the sport.
There's different elements, obviously there's roots and rocks and things like that you can trip on, so it's a very different experience. It's generally a bit slower, a bit easier going. There's a lot of social around it. People go out in groups and chat and stuff and stop and enjoy the nice views.
So if you want to take the leap from pounding the pavements to treading the trails, what do you need? Well, you might want to invest in some trail running shoes because the grip is important when it comes to slippery conditions. That's just about it, except you're going to be a bit slower because of the terrain, so worry less about the watch and concentrate more on enjoying the views. And it's a pastime that can have wide-ranging benefits, according to this professor in counselling psychology from York St John University.
It's accessible. We're working with many clients and patients, and through our research we know from green social prescribing, that is where people are able to go outside and exercise, that it's really helpful for mental health, it's helpful for stress reduction. It is boosting people's mental health in relation to reducing anxiety and depression alongside other interventions that they can get.
Trail running does have its challenges. There's usually a hill or two involved. And because many routes are remote, if you have any safety concerns, running with someone is advisable. But if you like scenery with your exercise, trail running is hard to beat. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
Does look good on a beautiful day like that, doesn't it? Well, staying with the sporty theme now, Chris is here with us in the studio. Massive honour for one of our Lionesses today.
There has been, yeah, Lara, richly deserved as well. Former England captain Millie Bright, who's from Killamarsh, of course, today received an OBE from Prince William for services to football.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Now, after what's been a fairly tumultuous 12 months, both personally and professionally, Millie Bright was today honoured at Buckingham Palace.
Millie Bright, for services to Association Football.
Millie was presented with an OBE by Prince William, who himself is a big football fan. Now, the 32-year-old Millie, who's from Killamarsh in North East Derbyshire, played 88 times for England, scoring 6 goals and winning the European Championship in 2022. However, she withdrew from the squad that defended their title last summer and in October retired from international football. This ceremony was due to take place last June, but Millie was forced to postpone after undergoing surgery on an injured knee.
I was joking, I said I don't feel as much as a fraud now I've officially got it, and having OB next to my name I feel like I've received it, it's officially mine. But yeah, I think it's hard to put into words how I'm feeling right now. I don't really know how I'm feeling. It's a day that you never really prepare for. It's a massive day for my family as well, and I just feel grateful to be able to give back to them and bring them along and enjoy such a special day, really. Like I said, it's really hard to put into words, but I'll definitely reflect tomorrow, tonight, and hopefully come down off cloud 9 ready for the game at the weekend.
Well done to Millie, as I said, richly deserved. Well, sticking with football, and both Doncaster and Huddersfield are one step closer to Wembley after making it through to the quarter-finals of the EFL Trophy. Now, Donny put their league troubles behind them to beat Fleetwood 3-1. Billy Sharp, who'll turn 40 next month, scored twice, both typical Sharp finishes there before Hakeeb Adelakan secured the win with his first goal since returning to the club. Meanwhile, it was a comfortable 3-0 win for Huddersfield over struggling Rotherham. Will Alves fired them ahead and then almost scored a near identical goal, but his effort cannoned off the bar. Lasse Sorensen on hand to head in the rebound. Youngster Cameron Ashier rounded off the scoring with another neat finish. But Harrogate's Wembley dreams are over. Despite taking the lead at Stockport through Tom Kersons, they conceded twice late on to lose 2-1. Now, with the new Rugby Super League season creeping ever closer, Leeds Rhinos captain Ash Handley says he wants to recapture the good times down at Headingley. The England international, who's played 238 games for his hometown club since making his debut in 2014, takes over sole captaincy from Cameron Smith. Last season, the Rhinos made it to the Super League playoffs for the first time in 3 years, and expectations have risen ahead of the new campaign, which kicks off in just over 4 weeks' time.
Pretty proud, you know, I'm a Leeds lad, and I just want to get us back to where we need to be. That's my motivator to go on and do things that, you know, I had a little taste of in 2015 with the treble winning side and the glory that they had, and just chasing that and wanting us to get back up there. And, you know, if I'm the best person at the moment to be captain and try and lead by example and get us up there, then great, but that's what I'm bothered about.
Well, it's cold down at Headingley this morning, and fittingly, finally from me, the European Ice Skating Championships have begun today in Sheffield. Now, Luke Digby, who's from the Steel City itself, was one of the first to take to the ice at the Sheffield Arena with his partner Anastasia Vipen-Law, finishing a creditable 5th in the pair's short programme. And after that came, well, a spectacular opening ceremony featuring fire breathers, trapeze artists, and of course, ice skaters there. Fantastic stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you a skater?
I'm not a skater, no, are you?
No, I'm not.
He's often on thin ice, though.
That's for
often,
sure. Yeah, go
often.
on, get your skates on, off you go.
Hey, nicely put, thank you.
Thank you.
Right, let's get the weather from Nick Miller now.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello, pretty nice day after that very cold and frosty start this morning, though -2 last night compared with the -10 we had last week, and a nice day followed. We had that sunshine around. Things starting to change now, though, more cloud moving in, and this is heading our way from the west into tonight. There is weakening as it moves towards us. The big picture here, it's this weather system here, so a bit of patchy rain overnight, not amounting to very much. Low pressure tomorrow, trying to bring rain towards us. Most of it will miss us to the south, and low pressure moving in at the weekend is going to weaken just a lot of cloud around, and we're not lurching back to the very cold and snowy weather of last week. Temperatures are actually going to be pretty close to the average for the time of year. Over the next few hours, though, from that increasing cloud, some outbreaks of rain, mostly into the Pennines, maybe a bit of sleet and snow here to the very highest ground. Some of us, though, will, despite this weather system moving in, stay essentially dry, and temperatures to start the day tomorrow above freezing, with a sunrise at 8:16 and a sunset at 4:16. So into the day then, and we are going to see a lot of bright weather to begin with, though clouds going to increase. Remember that area of low pressure to the south of us, trying to bring some rain maybe late on into parts of Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire, though most of us will stay dry from this, and temperatures again fairly close to the average, a touch breezier tomorrow. And as we go through the evening, again, that chance of rain the further south and east you are in the region, that clears away. A few showers early on Friday, some sunny spells to follow, and beyond that into the weekend, there will be a lot of cloud around. Again, temperatures close to the average for the time of year, but with that cloud cover, we're not expecting any frost.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
We don't know whether we're coming or going with these temperatures, do we?
Definitely not.
I've got bulbs coming up in the garden. I'm sure it's too early.
I've seen snowdrops already.
Yeah, well, it's probably that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. You let us know what you think. What have you seen? Yeah, tell us. Let us know, won't you?
Send us some pictures, actually.
Yeah.
That would be good to see, wouldn't it?
Well, that's all for now. John Hill will be back with our late news at 10:30.
Of course, we've got Lucrezia Millarini, who's taking over next. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again later.
Good night.
Bye-bye.